Okay, so am I the only person who's seen these fancy Apple shot on iPhone campaigns and looked at all of the gear they have around the iPhone and thought to myself, this is incredibly unobtainable for most filmmakers? Look, I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited when I saw the MacBook Pro announcement and saw that the entire thing was shot on iPhone 15 Pro. But then once the BTS came out, I quickly realized that Apple was up to their old tricks. They were using so much gear. So I decided I wanted to actually share some of the actually obtainable professional gear that you can utilize with your iPhone in order to get better video. Okay, so when it comes to getting video accessories for your iPhone, you're gonna quickly realize that there are quite a few different brands, and a lot of these brands have their very own integrated systems. Now, the reason why I want to start off here is because depending on which system you go with can drastically limit or expand what other pieces of gear you can actually get in order to get started. For example, Polar Pro has a really high-end cell phone accessory kit that you can purchase for an iPhone 15 or even older iPhones. However, this system is super enclosed, and one of the reasons why I actually don't recommend them. So let me tell you guys about a few pieces of gear that aren't going to 100% lock you into a system, or they're going to be able to work within other systems, so that way you can get most out of the gear that you purchase. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, just because you buy something for one phone doesn't mean you should have to buy all new accessories when you choose to upgrade your iPhone. Now, the first type of accessory I think you should absolutely get when it comes to shooting on an iPhone is some type of way to physically hold the phone. See, the truth is that holding an iPhone to shoot video is incredibly uncomfortable. Trying to do this whole thing is going to end up giving you extra shake and wobble in your footage. So I strongly recommend picking up a grip. So here are a few of the grips that I personally recommend. The first one that I like is this guy here. It's from Freewell, and you don't actually have to purchase anything else inside a Freewell system in order to get this grip. The nice thing about it is that it can go onto any size smartphone for that matter, and it has a Bluetooth controller that you can actually use in order to start and stop recording on your iPhone. The other thing that I like about it is that you actually can flip this thing down, turn it around, and now you have a little mini selfie stick here. And of course, if you do want to attach this to like a tripod or something like that, well, you have a way to be able to do that as well, as the bottom of it has a few threads, along with the bottom itself actually just works with Arca Swiss. Now, this one is good. However, when it comes to ergonomics, I actually think there's one even better. Now, this one comes from a company called Shift Cam, and this is the Shift Cam Pro Grip. And what I like about this one is, one, just the fact that how much beefier the actual grip is for your phone. It also has a trigger button here that connects via Bluetooth. But one thing that's really nice about this guy is that when it's fully charged, it can actually supply power back to your iPhone. The other thing that's nice is that if you want to switch from shooting horizontal to shooting vertically, you can easily do that by just rotating the back. This thing is super easy to film with, and it actually makes your phone start to feel like a traditional camera. Now, if you're planning on doing a lot of filmmaking and really trying to rig out your phone, well, that's where something like this is really going to come in handy. This is the Beastcam Beast Grip Cage, and this is a universal cage that will work with any smartphone or iPhone for that matter. The thing I like about it the most is the fact of, one, just how universal it is. I also like the fact that it has a thread up here, so that way you can attach filters, something we're going to talk about in just a little bit. And it also has tons of threaded points all around it. So as you guys can see, I have Mondo ties here. I have another plate up here, so that way I can quickly attach things on the top, like a top handle. It has a few more threads. I even added a cold shoe, so that way I can attach a monitor, but you can add multiple cold shoes all over this thing. So if you are looking for a professional grip cage, especially for video, I strongly recommend picking up one of these guys. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about filters. Now, filters is one of the areas where you're gonna quickly find that most systems want you to be locked into their world, as I mentioned earlier with the Polar Pro filters. For example, one of my favorite sets of filters actually comes from this company, Freewell, and they have a really unique situation here where their filters magnetically connect to their case. But that's kind of the problem. See, here I have my iPhone 14 Pro, and I absolutely love the case and the design. And as you can see, the filter just magnetically attaches there. I can take the safety cap off, and now I've got a filter on my phone. However, currently, Freewell doesn't have the 15 Pro Max case available, which means my current iPhone can't utilize these filters. So how do we get around that? This is the reason why I typically recommend going with circular filters. Now, there are tons of circular filters out there. This one is from a company called Tiffin. I've also used the ones from Moment, but the one thing that you have to look for is a way to actually attach these circular filters to your iPhone. Now, as I showed you guys earlier with the Beast Cam, this will allow you to actually thread on circular filters directly to the case itself. Now, here's the one thing that's really gonna help you guys out a lot, and that is step up and step down rings. What this basically allows you to do is to take a circular threaded filter like this and basically attach it to just about any size camera or lens. It's going to vary slightly and you may run into some vignetting, especially if you're using a smaller filter like this on a bigger lens. However, you can utilize bigger filters on smaller threads, like using a full-size filter on an iPhone. It's crazy and it looks ridiculous, but if you are trying to save some money and you already have circular filters laying around, you can absolutely use step-down rings in order to get them to fit on your mobile phones. Now, the next accessory type that we're going to break down is gimbals. Now, gimbals, they have kind of come and gone in popularity, but when it comes to shooting on an iPhone, personally, I still recommend going with a gimbal. Now, don't get me wrong. I fully understand that iPhones have action mode that's built in. They also have some pretty good built-in stabilization just from a digital and optical standpoint on the lenses. However, there is something to actually using a real gimbal, primarily because it helps you to maintain your horizon line. Now, when it comes to my favorites, I've got two. The first one, and this is primarily based off of how it looks, not necessarily 100% of how it functions, is the Insta360. I absolutely love this guy here, especially this really kind of see-through type design. But the one thing that's really neat about it is that the tripod is actually built into it. And this, I think everyone should be doing. This makes it so much easier to just set this thing down without having to screw anything in place. It's super easy to work with, and as far as stability goes, it's great. Now, my second favorite one works pretty much the exact same, and that's from a company called DJI, and this is the Osmo. Now, this is the OG when it comes to mobile gimbals, but the one thing I will say that I don't necessarily like about it, and it's something that I mentioned on the last one, and that is just that the tripod has to be screwed into the bottom. It's one extra step, not a big deal. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to these two gimbals, which one should you pick up? It really just comes down to which one can you get a better deal on. They're equally great, and of course, at the end of the day, they're gonna get the job done. Now, having amazing video gear and being able to shoot awesome videos is just part of the equation. You're also gonna need professional audio, and that's where the company Audio, spelled with two I's, really comes in handy. They help partner filmmakers with amazing music. And the best part is now they offer a monthly subscription. See, before they only had the annual plans, but now for just $14.99, you can have access to their entire library. This is not only gonna give you their music, but also their sound effects. And it will also allow you to connect one YouTube account so that way you can be monetized on YouTube while also using this music. So if you are looking for new music because you're tired of hearing the same songs that are on every other video, definitely check out the links down below in the description to sign up for yourself. But there you have it, guys. Those are all of the professional accessories that I personally recommend when it comes to shooting video with your iPhone. If you have any other ones that I totally missed or entire categories that I completely missed, be sure to leave those down below in the comment section so that way we can all learn together. Also, I'd love to know from you guys how you guys feel about this new setup. I tried something new with this one. Hopefully it looks good. Maybe you guys like it, maybe you don't. Either way, give me some feedback down below. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.